Loser Sherriff Israel busted. Dirty secret tying him to school shooter just found. Hillary Clinton supporting Sherriff Scott Israel has been hoping no one would find out about his dirty secret that proves he and the 19-year-old shooter at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School were well acquainted. Most people have come to know Israel as a weasel, working with CNN and the anti-gun, anti-Trump crowd. Now, he has been busted big time. His dirty secret is out, and it places those deaths right at his feet. Sherriff Scott Israel is a real piece of work. He is not your typical lawman. He's a flaming liberal who supported Hillary Clinton and showed the country at CNN's town hall what a weasel he truly is by viciously attacking NRA spokesman Dana Loesch. He was willing to do anything to take the spotlight off of himself. Israel knows he is partly to blame for the shooting, along with the Broward County school system. So, what dirty secret is Israel and his cohorts at Broward County hiding? Well, most people are aware that the shooter, Nicholas Cruz, had numerous complaints made to law enforcement by people in the community and even by people on the internet. People are assuming that, somehow, Cruz slipped through the cracks, that possibly law enforcement didn't follow up, or if they did, they wrongly assumed Cruz was not a danger to anyone. None of that is true, and this is going to blow your minds. The sheriff's office did exactly what their internal policies, procedures, and official training required them to do. They intentionally ignored the signs and intentionally didn't generate documents when it came to Cruz. Why? Why would Sherriff Israel ignore a psychopath with guns? Because back in 2013 to 14, the Broward County School Board was in conflict over the number of arrests of students. They wanted to make that number lower so they could gain federal resources. In other words, money, lots of government money. So, they enacted new policies that, in essence, said students will not be arrested and that students will not ever enter the juvenile justice system. The conservative treehouse did a 12-month investigation into Broward County and these troubling new policies back in 2014. CTH reports, the need to continue lowering the student arrests year over year meant that increasingly more severe unlawful behavior had to be ignored. Over time, even the most severe of unlawful conduct was being filtered by responding police. They add, we found out about it when 6 cops blew the whistle on severe criminal conduct they were being instructed to hide. The sheriff and police chiefs were telling street cops and school cops to ignore ever-worsening criminal conduct. So, Sherriff Israel knew all about Cruz, yet because of these policies, Cruz never got arrested. Think about this and how that snake Israel was sitting up on that stage at CNN's town hall, acting like he was just another victim of the big bad National Rifle Association, as he had the audacity to chastise Dana Loesch when the blood was on his hands. CTH concluded, the police were in a bind. They were encountering evidence of criminal conduct, and yet they had to hide the conduct. There were examples of burglary and robbery where the police had to hide their recovered evidence in order to let the kids get away without reports. Sherriff Israel knew only the most corrupt cops would be a part of these school policies, which involved ignoring crimes. So, is it any wonder he appointed a coward, Deputy Scott Peterson, to be the school cop at MSD High School? Keep that in mind when you consider this damning timeline that proves how Israel, Peterson, and the Broward County School Board are accessories to this mass shooting. First, let's start with 2016, 2 years before the shooting. February 5, 2016, a Broward Sheriff's Office deputy is told by an anonymous caller that Nicholas Cruz, then 17, had threatened on Instagram to shoot up his school and posted a photo of himself with guns. The information was forwarded to Deputy Scott Peterson, the school resource officer at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. September 23, 2016, a peer counselor reports to Peterson that Cruz had possibly ingested gasoline in a suicide attempt, was cutting himself, and that he wanted to buy a gun. A mental health counselor advises against involuntarily committing Cruz. The high school says it will conduct a threat assessment. September 28, 2016, an investigator for the Florida Department of Children and Families rules Cruz is stable, despite fresh cuts on his arms and his mother, Linda Cruz, saying that he wrote a racial slur against African Americans on his book bag in the past and had recently talked about buying firearms. There was almost a year-long gap in the timeline, but things picked up again late in 2017. September 24, 2017, A YouTube user named Nicholas Cruz posts a comment stating he wants to become a professional school shooter. The comment is reported to the FBI in Mississippi, which fails to make the connection to Cruz in South Florida. November 1, 2017, Catherine Blaine, Linda Cruz's cousin, called Sherriff Israel's office to report that Nicholas had weapons and asked the police to recover them. A close family friend agreed to take the firearms, according to PSO. November 29, 2017, the Palm Beach County family that took in Cruz after the death of his mother called the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office to report a fight between Cruz and their 22-year-old son. A member of the family said that Cruz had threatened to get his gun and come back, and that he has put the gun to others' heads in the past. The family reportedly did not want him arrested once he calmed down. November 30, 2017, a caller from Massachusetts called PSO to report that Cruz is collecting guns and knives and could be a school shooter in the making. A PSO deputy advises the caller to contact the Palm Beach Sheriff. Issues where Nicholas Cruz is concerned persisted into this year before culminating in the tragic mass shooting. January 5, 2018, a caller to the FBI's tip line reported that Cruz has a desire to kill people and could potentially conduct a school shooting. The information is never passed on to the FBI's office in Miami. February 14, 2018, Nicholas Cruz attacks Stoneman Douglas High School. The school's resource officer appointed by Israel, Scott Peterson, drew his gun outside the building, where Cruz was shooting students and staff. He did not enter. Now that you know the truth, isn't it totally ridiculous that the mainstream media and those attacking the NRA are calling for gun confiscations? This mass shooting never had to happen because people were engaged and they were seeing the warning signs. It was the leftist nutjobs at Broward County and Hillary Clinton's good buddy Sherriff Israel who made sure nothing was done to stop the shooter. CNN is helping Israel cover this up, but we must not let them succeed. Spread the truth and save the Second Amendment. What do you think about this? Please share this news and scroll down to comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Top Stories Today.